Dave Ledoux is an independent recording artist, singer, songwriter, guitarist, and musician who has been writing and recording for many years, and he's here with us now. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man.
That's good. How's the pandemic going where you are?
Where we are in Northern Virginia, you got to kind of wear a mask everywhere you go, whether it's working or anything like that. So it's pretty strict with that because there's so many people here. So I get it.
Definitely. So you've just released your latest EP, which is called Broken, and it's got two songs on there. One's called Better Times, and the other's One and Only. And the two of the songs are kind of very different styles, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
What made you want to do those two different styles?
My background has always been rock and metal.
Yeah.
So, but I also have a softer side. I've got a lot of ballads and stuff like that I've written. So that's one I wanted to do more kind of rocker heavier, and the other one just more ballad, really.
And what did you write about in these songs? What would you say these songs are about if they have a meaning?
So, Better Times is more or less like looking back on your times, whether it be the best times you had in your life and as a kid or in high school, or just kind of more of like memory lane, and how as an adult you got a lot of responsibilities and things like that, but as a kid it's more carefree and fun if you had that kind of childhood. And then the other one is actually about my wife, and but I wrote it I think 2 years after we were married, because we were separated for a long time, which is why that's kind of some of the lines in there. We had a distance relationship for a little bit, held it together, and 2 years later we're married. So pretty cool.
Yeah. How long did it take you to come up with these songs and write and record them?
I've got a buddy of mine, Jesse Johnson, who had a Apple laptop at the time. Well, he still does. And we kind of just used Pro Tools and everything, and decided like to go that route and kind of see what happens, how it turns out. I wrote those songs pretty quick, probably a day or so each one. I had the rhythms in my head already. Now the piano on One and Only was not me. That he did that. I did all the other stuff, all the guitar, all the vocals. That's all mine.
And how do you get into that mindset of writing? Is there anything you do, or does it just sort of come naturally?
It depends. I practice nearly every evening. Sometimes it'll just come from out of the blue during the day. And now that we have these iPhones, used to be pen and paper I would carry around, but now I have my little note section. So I'll just press the record button and talk my way through it, and then form coherent sentences later, just kind of put it all together. So
do you stick to the same kind of few genres, or are you up for anything? Because I would assume from the EP that you do like a bit of rock, but is that what you mainly stick to?
I do, although I'm actually, the funny thing is I just got another rough recording back from him. I'm doing another one that is not, I wouldn't even call it metal. I would call it like almost U2 style, sort of, but mixed with
like
more
poppy rock stuff.
Kind of, yeah, but again, away from my normal style, though I do have to put my guitar solos in there, so there's always that.
Definitely.
But I would love to play guitar, and I have many times on country, on R&B, blues, anything. So I like to kind of verse myself in everything.
Did you always think that music would be something that you would get into, or did you just did it just sort of happen? You were doing it as a hobby and it became a bigger thing?
In school, let's see, junior high, you had to pick an instrument, right? So I just picked a guitar, but that was like the traditional way of learning it. I put it down. I was like 12, I think 12 or 13. I didn't like that. I picked it up when I was 15 later, because I saw Van Halen and people were playing that crazy stuff. And I was like, all right, I want to play that. I want to do that. So that's what got me into it. I've never put it down since. And
on that kind of subject, who in the music business inspired you to get into music?
Van Halen was a big guy. A lot of, I like three different genres, but 80s, 90s, and 2000s, kind of that type of rock. So I tried to actually fuse all those together. It just kind of comes that way. For some reason, it just comes out that way. I don't know why, it's the hair bands mixes with the, Soundgarden type stuff mixed with Sum 41 and people like that. And Sevendust, I really love those guys. Stuff like that.
So did you always know that you wanted to make music like that, or did you just start out making all sorts, but just stuck to who inspired you in the end?
No, it started out just, ripping and roaring and all metal, just nothing but metal. That was my mindset for a long time, just rock and metal. That's it. And then, as you went on, my mind changed and evolved a little bit more. I'm like, I could actually play guitar and some of these other stuff, and it was really fun. So I decided to, I guess, kind of fuse that in there without even thinking it or knowing it. Just kind of came out,
Yeah.
So,
and what would you say makes the music different from other artists like that?
I think it's because I haven't come across anything that really fuses all three of those genres together. Normally a person sticks to one or the other. I've noticed. Yeah. And like I said, I've even done some country stuff, and so not singing it, I play guitar on it. And then, I don't know, R&B, I've seen so many people in concert, and obviously I would stick to the metal, but I have seen Beyonce, I've seen John Mayer, all those guys. And it was really cool to actually watch them perform live other than the CD. So I had a different view after seeing them live as to like, okay, this is actually really, really cool, and opened my mind, and, instead of being closed off.
Do you have any big moments in your career that have sort of stood out to you?
What kind of moments?
Like maybe you've played a gig or somebody's noticed you and it's kind of meant a lot to you.
Well, this interview is one of them. We'll say that.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did have a few moments a few years back, a couple of times on some other songs that were written that people noticed about. But it's, I don't think I actually recorded a couple of those, but it was really cool to get the feedback and or just kind of the applause of it. So I was really excited and happy about that.
Is there anything you do to keep your inspiration going when you might kind of lose a bit of inspiration?
Yes, you mean in the dry times?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a tough one too, because then you're just like, crap, I can't write anything, I can't do anything, so I have to sit and think, or I'll leave it alone for a week or two, sometimes longer, sometimes like a month, or I'll revisit some old stuff and kind of redo it, revamp it. And I've done that too, taking some old lyrics and been like, all right, let's dress this up a little bit better and see what I was actually thinking and feeling at the time, if I still do. So I'll do that too,
And have you got any more music coming out in the future after this EP?
Absolutely. I was planning on taking those two songs as a part of a larger EP with about 6 or 7 more record, I guess. And then, I'm recording some more stuff right now.
And outside of music, do you have any hobbies that keep you going, or is music just your main sort of big thing you like doing in it?
I do have one thing, and that is skateboarding. I've been doing that for a long time. And I still do. I haven't really broken too many bones or anything over the years, but that's a lot of fun. Still, I still love doing it. So, but I haven't done it very often in the last, I think, month or two. I've put that down, maybe longer. So.
But then I suppose skateboarding is one of those hobbies that throughout this year you've still been able to do, haven't you?
Yeah, you can. You can go outside.
Where can we listen to your latest EP anywhere online and buy it?
Yeah, that's on anything Apple, iTunes, Apple Music, Google, Napster, Spotify for sure. And there's several others I can't think of right now. There's quite a few. Any resource, really. DistroKid has distributed everything for me, so...
That's great. I'm sure it's probably everywhere because so many places that we won't have time to mention, but
yes,
you can Google it and you'll find it anywhere. And social media wise, where can we keep up to date with all these exciting new projects happening?
So if you take my name at Dave Ledoux Music, you'll find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Great. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much.